And you have said your late husband.
Unfortunately, 2 years later, when my daughter was 2 years old, he passed away. I believed in God, but at that point, I was like, no, I'm supposed to see God as love, but why is this happening to me? And I needed something else to stop thinking about it. Yeah, and unfortunately, I did not choose the right thing. Yeah, so I drank. That was my solution. Let me drink, because when I'm drunk, I forget.
Yeah. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to yet another episode of Women, Words, and Wisdom Global. This is a space where we tell real stories, stories of courage, stories of resilience, stories of hope. I'm your host, Imani Mwaura. Let me start off with shout out to everybody who has been with us in this journey. Very, very exciting to see how far we have come. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for giving us feedback. Thank you for even sharing with others the conversations that we've had here. I'm sure you found value in them, and that's why you have gone above and beyond. So help us to get global. We call this Women.Words.Wisdom Global. Help us to get global to the other parts of the world. So let me come back here. Today we have another exciting conversation. It's going to be a conversation with yet another friend of mine, Esther. Esther, welcome on set.
Thank you, Manny.
It's really, really nice to have you here. And today it's all about you. You are sharing with us your story. Let me not take the honors of it. Allow me to give you that opportunity. Tell us, where did you grow up? How was your childhood like? And then life.
Yeah, pretty hard. I had a very normal life. Grew up in Nairobi. I have one sister, one brother. Um, but my dad passed away when I was 13, 14 years old.
Okay.
And I'm the firstborn.
Okay.
So it's always been the three of us and my mom, who it didn't really change much. We still had a pretty normal childhood.
Yes.
Went to good schools, and nothing out of the ordinary.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
And like many girls, we become of age and we find love. Tell me about that.
Well, I was one of those, shall we say what, late bloomers.
Yeah.
I was in my friends' wedding committees, so many of them. At some point, I was like, hey,
What's
what's
happening?
happening over here?
Yeah.
But anyway, I finally found my late husband, and it was just, went very fast, and the rest was history,
Yes.
finally.
Yeah.
So I even had my daughter when I was much older than my peers.
Okay.
My peers' kids were much older
Yes.
than my child.
Yes. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. So you got married, and you have said your late husband. So bring us up to speed on that.
Yeah, so we were together for a few years, and actually for me it kind of took long for me to get pregnant. So it was pretty much the two of us in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then finally I got pregnant, and unfortunately 2 years later, when my daughter was 2 years old, he passed away. He was not well, and it was quite sudden. And I guess that's when my whole world completely changed.
I'm
and
sorry about
and
that.
I was like, okay, I have no idea what's going to happen now. I believed in God, but at that point, I was like, no, I'm supposed to see God as love, but why is this happening to me? Uh, him dying and leaving me with a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
I have no clue where to start, where to end. And I think that was the beginning of the really darkest times of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that, Esther. But allow me to just take you a little bit back. So when you got married, I'm sure the both of you had dreams. You were looking forward to something. You said it took a while before your daughter came in. But how was it like during that time with your husband and, enjoying life, I believe?
Yeah, we were basically enjoying life, and he was one of those people who he loved with all his heart. I really used to laugh at the little things he used to do. Like he used to love fashion and clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he would buy me shoes every Friday. When he
Wow.
when he
Wow.
passed away, I didn't know
Yes.
how to buy shoes.
Oh dear.
Yeah, just things like that. He was that dedicated person, and even when I got pregnant,
Yes.
we were like, okay, is it a girl or is it a boy? He said, no, we don't want to know right now. But we said, if it's a girl, we definitely know the name. If it's a boy, we were clueless for sure. We had no idea what we were going to call her.
Yeah.
But he was one of those so dedicated, so loving, just a fun person. He loved everyone, loved his nieces, his family, my own family would remind me, it's your sister's birthday next week. What have you gotten her? Was that kind of person.
Ministering Pastor Seth Chitai, Reverend Stanley Gitonga, Pastor Lena Ocheng, Reverend Pitson, Dr. Watau Ndungu, Moji Shod Baba, Crystal Moura, Alice Kimanzi, and many more.
Were told, go and pick your wife's shoes.
Yeah.
And the men were clueless. So shout out to the men who buy their women shoes. They actually know the shoes, the shoe size. They remember birthdays. Good job, men. Good job, men. All right. So it looks like, wow, it was a wonderful time.
Yeah.
And then suddenly this happens.
Yeah.
And you've talked about, even your relationship with God. What else did this do to you?
Actually, I think when I always think about that time, it's like it was the beginning of like a darkness. In that first day, I didn't know what was going on, if I was honest.
Yeah.
My mom had to take my daughter because everyone was like, it's really hit her hard. I moved to a different location. I did not tell anyone that I've changed my phone number or I have moved. I just isolated basically to deal with my grief alone. People would call me to say, let's pray for you. How are you? And I would always disconnect the phone. I would always say, I don't want to hear about anyone praying for me or anything about God. And I needed something else to stop thinking about it. Yeah. And unfortunately, I did not choose the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I drank. That was my solution. Let me drink because when I'm drunk, I forget.
Yeah.
But then of course I discovered later on, the more I used that, the more I got addicted to it and dependent on it, and just never wanted to be sober to remember anything.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I did that for a whole 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
They say you can't prepare for grief. You don't even know how you will respond to these things. I like to always use the Johari window. Just think of these 4 boxes.
Yes.
The first one is what you know about yourself, and everybody knows. Everybody knows my name. And I know my name. Then the second window is that one that I know of myself, but you all don't know about it.
Yeah.
And then there's that third part where people can see, but you don't see. But then that fourth box where you don't even know how you
Yeah.
will react. people don't know how you'll react, and that's grief.
Yeah.
One, I'm happy that your daughter had your mom and family. So I commend you for that decision, because you probably were able to shield her from all this. But then here is alcohol that became your friend. I'm sure it started day one and you felt, oh, okay, am I getting comfortable with
Yeah.
this? How did that progress?
Okay. Before that, yes, I drank.
Yeah.
I mean, we both drank, but not to those levels, I guess.
Okay.
But it was just the consolation that in the moment of drinking and getting high, everything was still. It's like I'm not thinking about
Yes.
he's died, but
Yeah.
there would be moments when if something came up, I would start wailing and crying in my highness. But the drinking was a shield so that one, not to talk about it.
Okay.
And then the other is I forget at that moment. I don't need to wonder. I don't have to think about what's going to happen tomorrow. In this very moment, I am okay.
Okay.
And so the more I was feeling okay in the beginning, when now I would sober up, everything comes flooding back. So when it comes flooding back, I'm like, hey, I can't handle.
What was hard to handle when you
Because
sobered up? Like
feeling
feelings.
feeling guilty.
Okay.
First of all, feeling guilty that now what is this again happening?
Okay.
And then trying to think, okay, now how do I start life again? And then you see, now you start thinking of, I need to be doing something. I need to, and unfortunately, even when I think back, I wish I knew about how, the way these days I know that when someone goes to grief, you can go for grief counseling. You can get support basically.
Yes.
Maybe you can be with other people who have gone through the same thing, losing a husband or something like that. But I had nothing. I had zero.
Yeah.
I had completely nothing.
Yeah.
I remember one time in my soberness, I remembered I had a friend in church who worked in a church. So I decided, let me go and see her. But when I went to see her, she looked at me very differently. Like I looked so maybe finished, hungover, I don't know. And she thought maybe I was just asking for food or whatever, or money or something. And that's not what I was going for. I just wanted to be able to say, okay, fine, I've come here, I need help. I really don't know. But I didn't get the opportunity to even say I need help because of the response I got. And I think that is one of the things that even now showed me that, you know what, forget about God even now. You see, I'm even trying, even going to church to get help, but I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
So let me go and
you were
do
able
the
to
thing.
justify
Let
it.
me do the thing that is helping me for now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, also not knowing that it will progress and become really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. How bad did it get?
It became very bad. Became very bad.
Yeah.
At the point of having blackouts. So ordinarily, when someone tells you have a blackout, you think of the person who maybe is seated somewhere who drank and then they were blacked out on the table. No, that's not the blackout I'm talking about. I'm talking about blackout where you lose memory. So you remember that the last thing I can remember was Friday morning. And then you tell me today is Tuesday afternoon. So I'm trying to wonder what happened between Friday morning and now, because you come out of the blackout after it starts after a couple of days.
Yes.
Some people even experience weeks, some people in months. Sometimes you can come out and you find yourself in another location. Other people have come out of a blackout and they did something in the blackout which they can't remember. Even some are drastic. There's so many cases, even people killing their parents because in that blackout, because you don't know. And then when you come out, you're like, what happened to my mom? And cops are in front of you telling you, but you're the one. So blackout, now when the blackout started coming is when I was like, okay, there's drinking, but now this one, because I don't remember those days completely. Where did the days go? But apparently you're operating as normal. It's not like you're seated somewhere doing nothing.
Yes,
you're operating as normal, but you have no recollection.
Is that what they call functioning alcoholism, or what's
No,
that? That's different.
That's
Okay.
completely different. Functioning
Alcoholism.
alcoholism is when one is addicted to alcohol, but they have a job, they have not lost anything, their family
Okay.
is okay,
Yeah.
they are fine, but they are still an alcoholic. So in
Okay.
their mind, because everything around you is okay, then you can't call me an alcoholic. But they're still addicted as just the
Yes.
next person.
Yes.
And so you find that a lot in people who, still working. You have your job, you have your house, you have everything. You can't even say.
Yeah.
Because we have this notion that alcoholism is that person you find in the ditch or singing early 4 o'clock in the morning disturbing neighbors. No, alcohol is alcohol. It doesn't matter which route, where the progress is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And then, so you talked about this season where you had the blackouts.
Yes. So the blackout was my rock bottom because I was like, if I honestly cannot remember up to this day what happened in those days, then I think then this alcohol has reached another level.
Yes.
And somehow I just said, God help me. I don't know where the words came from. And the next thing I knew, I was calling to say I need to get myself to a rehab.
Okay.
Because that's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah.
But also, even just saying that, it's not like I knew what a rehab did. I had no clue whatsoever. I just knew perhaps
You'll get help.
last cause. Maybe I'll get help from this side. So luckily, at least again, family helped. Were happy to hear from me and said, yeah, let's look for one quickly. And I found myself in rehab.
Wow. So before rehab, okay, we are digging into this story. As a woman addicted to alcohol, how was that? And did you face any societal stigmatization? I don't know if you worked, where even to the plays we have, it's always a man who's drunk, not a woman. How was that?
Times have changed. Women also drink. Obviously, the stigma was bad. Because when you're drunk, of course you'll stagger. I always remember sometime there was another shop I used to pass, and the guy was the owner of the shop was such a nice person who really liked me and my daughter. And so when he used to see me staggering, you could see in his face, he's like, how can I help this person? But then the others, there goes, how it sounds even in Swahili. Honor your mama mlevi, the stigma. You're drinking in the bar, you don't care, you're even at the counter. There's a lot of stigma. But even after someone gets better, there's still stigma. You see, for you to invite me here to talk about it, for me, it's to also to say, yes, these things happen and you can get help. And many people would, even after this, probably someone who sees the show, some of them might come and ask me, why would you go and now talk about it like that? They're still stigmatizing me that I should just be quiet and I'm better, and But for me is the experience I went through, which was so bad. And even in that moment when it was bad, if you ask me that I'm going to get out of it, I would have told you, I don't think so. I think now I'm just waiting to die, really. But so to be able to get out of it, I'm sharing so that another lady somewhere, another woman somewhere, because women drink in different ways. There's the ones who are confident to drink out there in the bars and clubs and all, but there is another whole set of people who drink at home. You come from work nicely, go to your room, lock the door, the whole weekend with your casks of wine and whatever, just drinking away. Closet drinkers. Monday, normal, go. But we're just doing the same thing, but in different ways. So that one who's also in the closet, that one who's also at work, functioning, it's lunchtime, they don't go for lunch, they go quickly, and then come back and continue working and have that delusion that, no, I'm still okay. So those women are still the same, even if mine was through a different route, they'll still end up, it all ends up being messed up. But it's for me to say that it's okay not it's okay, but it's okay that you can get out of it.
Yes.
Just know that you're not alone. There are many others who have gone through the same thing you're going through. And that's why I love sharing the story and saying there's hope. For sure, there's hope. As long as someone has not died, there's hope. And then there's also, so you can imagine you're drinking in the closet or you're functioning alcohol or whichever way, you don't know how to start talking about it. You don't know how to say, I need help. You are a lady already. How can you be an alcoholic? Many women I've met who have come out of it will tell me by the time they were telling their families that they had a problem, some of the families were shocked. Like, what do you mean? You don't look like you would have such a problem. So it's all a mixture of things. But at the end of the day, I think it's to be able to create awareness of what it does, because sometimes someone starts innocently to deal with an underlying issue, but not knowing that long term is going to affect you and affect your life or your family and all. But you can also still be able to get help and get out of it if you're willing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love what you said. There is hope.
Yeah.
There is hope. And thank you, because you have brought hope here to become vulnerable, the courage you have to even share this. Getting back to your story, we were at the point of rehab. God, I need help.
Yeah.
And you called family and they got a rehab for you.
Yes.
Okay.
So in the rehab is when I now knew exactly what alcoholism is. I did not know. Actually, I thought when you go to rehab, they do a checkup on you and then they give you some medication and tell you now you can go and be able to drink like a normal person.
That's what
I
you were
had no
expecting.
idea. That's what I'm telling you. You can't even know what a rehab is.
Yeah.
So to be there and then be told that the solution is not to drink ever, you're already like, what? And then bringing now back the God aspect, the spiritual aspect, because at the end of the day, we use other things because we are spiritually sick.
Yes.
At the end of it all, we are spiritually sick, and so we use anything
Yeah.
else to cover some things that we're going through. Maybe I'm talking about alcohol, but it's even other addictions. It includes many addictions these days. There's gambling, there's all manner of addictions. At the end of the day, you're doing that you're using that thing that you're addicted to cover something else that you can't deal with. Yeah. And so the rehab taught me many things. It was a spiritual program. And so they were able to bring that sense, first of all, the science of alcoholism.
The
That
science.
it is a disease.
Okay.
It is a disease. If I take a drink, the minute I take the drink, for me, I will want more.
Okay.
But there are many people, I'm sure, like yourself, if you took a drink, you can say, my one glass of wine is enough. It's time to go home. But Esther cannot say that.
Yeah.
It will just come automatically. There's a craving that will happen, and you're craving more and more the minute you introduce the alcohol in your system. And then the more you drink, the more you want to get to the same high you had. But now it's progressive. So you're chasing the same thing you felt the first time, and it becomes harder and harder to reach. So it's really a disease of the brain, because it's to do with when a normal person is happy, something has happened and you're just happy, right?
Yes.
But then now someone introduces some chemical substance in their brain. Since the brain is the one that works on a normal person when you're happy, and the neurons, and you smile and happy and laugh. But then now you introduce a chemical that temporarily makes you happy, right? And then that's not the way the brain is supposed to be. But you keep introducing this chemical substance to your brain. And so your brain stops functioning as normal and is dependent on that thing you have introduced to it. And that's why the minute you sip, the minute it comes back again wanting more. So even that's why I'm saying the rehab was able to explain that. And even now that I haven't drunk for many years, doesn't mean I am cured. It just means that I understand what I'm going through. Because if I take a drink today, it will just wake up and call for more. and it will come from where I left it when I stopped. That's why you find some people get help, and then when they relapse, the relapse is so bad because the brain just quickly. Where have you been? Tara, and you drink and drink and drink. Yeah.
That's a good science class you've taken me through. And so for you, what really helped and solidified, like you've said, because I have seen and I've heard of many who relapse
Yeah.
after that, and when they relapse, it's really, really bad. What can you attribute to, and we thank God for the strength you've had over those many years, that one time you went to rehab really changed your life?
Okay, there's two sides to it. When we talk about it being a disease, if you have a disease, forget the alcoholism.
Yes.
When you have a disease, you go to the doctor,
Yes.
and the doctor tells you, by the way, with the disease you have, don't take this. Even take a diabetic person.
Yes.
You'll be told not to take this and follow some diet and take some insulin, whatever it is the doctor will say.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, what will happen? So you'll be sick.
Yes.
So if alcoholism is a disease, and I've gone to rehab and I've been told what I'm suffering from, it's a disease of the mind and the brain. A mind, because when I'm not drinking, I'm thinking, where am I going to get the drinking? And when I drink, I'm annoyed that it's an obsession, mental obsession plus whatever. So when I'm going to rehab, I'm getting help. Yeah? And I've been told the help I need is to stop, not to drink again.
Correct.
Because if I do, it's just going to get worse.
Worse.
And now the rehab is also teaching you how to stay stopped. It's not about stopping. It's about how to stay stopped. So you go to
How
rehab.
to stay stopped.
Yes, I know what I'm going through.
Okay.
I've understood it's a disease. I've understood that I have to stop. So when I get out of rehab, how will I remain sober?
Okay. Okay.
How will I live sober? Right? So that's why it's in itself, it's not so much the drink. It's now trying to find a new way of living life without the substance, without the alcohol. And the only way you can do that if you connect with a support group with people who are like you, because everyone has their own story, but the journey is the same.
Yes.
And so if we're together who have gone through the same thing, walking hand in hand together, it's easy for us to continue staying stopped. Yes. But if you come out of rehab and you don't have any support system, you can't do it on your own. And that's why people will be relapsing. But the other thing also, it has to come from you when you went to that rehab or whichever help you got, and to be told that this is what you need to do. You must be willing to accept yourself. I needed to accept that I was an alcoholic and I needed help.
Okay.
But if I didn't accept and just said, I'm just in this rehab because now people are tired of me. No, I have no support, whatever. When I come out, if I don't get support, there are many times I hear stories of, you come out of rehab and you're expecting your family to support you, but your family are still angry at you. You stole from them, you messed them up. They don't even want to listen.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that support, how are you going to stay stopped? You just go back.
Yeah. Now I'm connecting what you said, that for you, you got to that point of, God, I need help, and you were able to call. So there's that personal initiative.
Yeah.
Me as the sick person, I need to get that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if it's the community, that's why sometimes there's a relapse or going back to it. Ninasoma, okay, I'm connecting the dots now. It's making a lot of sense because indeed there are many families that have tried to help their dear ones, but if that person does not realize they need help, then it becomes a challenge. Yeah.
And also, when the person is getting help, the family needs help too, to understand your loved one, this is what they were going through. Nobody wakes up to say, tomorrow I'm going to be an alcoholic. No, something happened. There's always an underlying issue. For me, I needed to deal with my grief. So even beyond of now stopping doing is to realize, you know what? You never dealt with your grief. You never dealt with the grief of your dad. You never dealt with the grief of your husband. Yeah. So it all came out. right? But
There are
somebody else
things
could
at
be,
14.
yeah. So someone, for everyone who ends up being an addict to alcohol, there's always something under, some traumatic experience they went through when they were young, something they went through in life. And so when they found this thing, it helped them not to deal with it. So sometimes the underlying thing could be dealing with family. So that family needs, like when you're in rehab, they normally say you should have family sessions.
Okay.
So that now your family understands, oh, by the way, this is what she was going through. We also need to share with you so that we also give you help for the family to understand what is this person going through so that they support them. It was not their wish, so to speak. Yeah. And then when you deal with that issue, whether it was a trauma, the grief, the what, many things. Yeah. For women, it could be something they went through, someone as traumatized, a sexual assault, a rape, could be anything.
There's an
Yeah,
underlying
there's always
issue.
an underlying issue, always.
Yeah.
And so if you are able to reach the point of saying, let me now face this underlying issue so that I don't have to go back and use alcohol or drugs to hide this issue. I need to deal with it. Yeah.
Amazing. And I'm listening to you, and there's probably someone listening to us and telling you, Esther, I have tried. I like that you've brought the family and community also need to know what you're going through. Could two people speak to that someone who feels, I am deep into this, I don't even know how to come out? And then speak to that family who has their loved one really stuck in this and they don't know what to do. Or rather, they have tried and they feel like they're failing. Could you speak to those two sets of people?
So,
You can look at that camera.
so the one who is requires help, who's going through the same thing, it's a matter of saying, have you reached the point you're willing to get help? There's a lot of help out there. You can reach out to their psychologists, their their rehabs, their support groups that help with all these addiction and alcoholism things. The point is, are you willing to get help? Just that's one step. Yes, I'm willing to get help. You can get, it depends on the extent, of course, of your addiction and alcoholism, but help is there. That's what I can say. And then the other thing I can tell them is you're not alone. We are many, many, many of us who have been through what you're going through, but we got out of it and we're here. And the only way we can continue being sober or not using drugs is by helping others. It's like that thing you say, I have this gift, but I can't keep it unless I give it away. So that's what I would say to them, not to give up, just to reach out and say, I need help. That's all. And the help will be, there's different ways of getting help. Right.
There is help.
Yeah.
And you're not alone.
And you're not alone.
Beautiful.
Yeah. The family, I always tell the family is you need to stop getting angry. You need to still love your loved one because they are sick. You need to still love them, but get them help from a professional who knows what they are going through. Because as a family member, all you're thinking about the number of times they've stolen from me, the number of times they've done this, and the other. The family needs to understand, still love them, but let them get help. There are things that are done, family intervention. So, for example, someone in a family one of them is struggling. You get someone who understands addiction and alcoholism to do an intervention with a family so that this person who's speaking from the point of experience and knowing can talk to all of them together. So that when your loved one says, oh, so this is what I'm going through, they go and get the help, but also the family understand what are they going through. Yes.
Wow, that's beautiful. So, family, there you have it. Keep on loving your loved ones. Don't give up on them. And there is help, as Esther has told us. Esther, allow me to finish on this high. I'd like you to say what you do now. I mean, you give back to the community in many ways.
How did you
And-
know where to start? Okay, one thing is, remember I said that I did not want to hear the word God because
Yeah.
I believe that He's the one who made me go through all the things I went through.
Yeah.
But now I've learned God was always there.
Wow.
And one of the things that I did after coming out of rehab was to go back to church. That's how I went back to church. And my reason for going to church was to say, thank you, God. Whatever you did in the 90 days in rehab, please, please, please continue doing it. But then I got to now build my relationship with God again and be able to be, be part of a church community. Secondly, I was able to get my life back. I am a finance professional. So I do run my own consulting, finance and investment consulting firm for the last, 6-7 years now. And basically, again, just now having, let me call what you'd say, a normal life.
Yes.
That you can be with your child, be happy, be there for them in whatever they need to do, and just being present for my family and also being present for friends. And the other thing that has changed also is I am always willing to help the next person. So I'm involved I've helped many people who someone would call me and say, oh, I had Esther's story. Maybe you talk to her. Maybe she'll be able to help, things like that. So like I said, I can't be happy knowing the darkness I went through and just say, yes, now I'm okay and leave it at that. I believe that I have been involved in now being able to tell others, yes, there's hope. Yes, you can get help. Yes, your life can be okay again. Your family will love you again. Your children will love you again. And even if they don't, it will take time, but you can get help and you can be okay again. And I think the biggest lesson for me is at the end of all this, it is about now connecting yourself back to God. Because I honestly think, even if I've gone to rehab and done all these things, I honestly believe that God has done for me what I could not do for myself. Yeah.
God has done for you what you could not do for yourself.
Yeah.
That's a powerful point to end. I know you wanted to hear more, but thank you so much, Esther. Your story makes me believe healing is possible. Healing is possible. Don't give up on yourself. Family, don't give up on your loved ones. Healing is possible. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your resilience. Thank you for your vulnerability. I'm sure you've given someone hope today. And thank you to our viewers for staying with us. I believe this has been a story that has lifted you, that has given you hope. If you feel that someone needs to hear this to encourage them to know that they shouldn't give up on themselves, feel free to share it. Until next time, stay blessed. I am Imani. We'll see you next time.